All right, let's talk about something we all struggle with. That daily battle between that flash of motivation and the quiet, steady power of discipline. We're gonna dive right in.
You know the feeling, right? You get this amazing idea, you're fired up to start a new project, a new workout plan, whatever it is, you feel like you can conquer the world. But then, a week goes by, maybe two, and that fire is barely even a flicker. Why on earth does that keep happening?
Well, it happens because most of us get caught in what you could call the motivation trap. See, we think that feeling fired up, feeling ready, is the most important part of getting started, but that's our first mistake.
And it is an incredible feeling, isn't it? That surge of energy when you just think, this is it. This is the time it's all going to change. It's this powerful jolt that, gets the whole engine started.
And just like that, it's gone. That workout that seemed so exciting just a few days ago, now it just feels heavy. That dream that was so crystal clear is now kind of foggy and far away. And that right there, that's the moment of truth.
So let's redefine what motivation actually is. It's not some deep character trait. It's just temporary fuel. It's an emotional state that, it soars when things are new and easy, but it vanishes the second things get hard. Relying on it is kind of like trying to cross an ocean on a pool float you know has a slow leak. It's just not going to get you there. So if motivation is the leaky raft, what's the solution? This is where we bring in a much more powerful force, discipline. Let's really see how these two stack up against each other.
I mean, the difference is just night and day. Motivation is a feeling, it's temporary. Discipline, that's a permanent system that you build. Motivation is emotional. Discipline is intentional. You don't feel your way to discipline, you choose it. And that's why it's consistent. Discipline doesn't care if you're in a good mood or a bad mood. It's all about what you do, not how you feel about doing it.
And hey, this isn't just some abstract theory. This is the mindset that separates the amateurs from the champions in pretty much every field. There's this great story about a young boxer talking to his coach, complaining about how hard it was to get up for those early morning training sessions.
Now think about that. The coach wasn't telling him he had to love the grind. He was telling him the feeling is totally irrelevant. A champion does the work anyway. They honor the promise they made to themselves, especially on the days they'd rather do anything else. That is how you build real momentum.
Okay, so we get it. Discipline is the key. But it's not something you're just born with, right? It's a muscle. You have to build it. So let's break down the actual practical steps to do that.
First, you need crystal clear goals. You got to know exactly what you're aiming for. Second, build systems. Don't wait to feel like it. Put it on the calendar and just follow the plan. Third, master the art of the small promise. Make your bed. Go for that 10-minute walk. Every little promise you keep builds trust in yourself. Fourth, you have to learn to embrace discomfort. That feeling of friction, that's the feeling of growth. And finally, track your progress. Don't get obsessed with huge results right away. Just celebrate the fact that you showed up again.
Let me give you another quick story to see how this works in the real world. Imagine a writer who spent years, literally years, waiting for the perfect inspiration to strike so she could finally write her novel.
But that perfect inspiration, it never came. So one day, she just stopped waiting and built a system. The rule was simple, 500 words a day, no matter what. Some days were a breeze, other days felt like pulling teeth. But a year later, she was holding a finished manuscript. That book wasn't built on motivation. It was built brick by brick with discipline.
Now here's the part that sounds a little crazy, the part that most people get totally backward. We tend to think of discipline as this restriction, like a cage. But the truth? It is the absolute opposite.
Think about it. When you have a plan and you stick to it, you are suddenly free from the endless cycle of excuses. You're free from the regret of, another day wasted. You're no longer a victim of your own mood swings. You actually take back control of your time, your energy, and ultimately, your own life.
It's the ultimate paradox, isn't it? By putting these structures in place for yourself, you achieve real freedom. The freedom to actually become the person you want to be, instead of just sitting around hoping you'll feel like it someday.
So this all boils down to a pretty fundamental shift in how you look at success. It's not some big, flashy event. It's a process. It's about adopting the winner's mindset.
And this is the core truth. Every single champion you've ever admired has felt tired. They felt discouraged. They have wanted to quit. The only difference between them and everyone else is that they didn't wait for motivation to come and save them. They just showed up anyway.
So the next time that alarm clock goes off and your mind starts trying to negotiate with you,
When it whispers, "not today," or "I just don't feel like it," I want you to remember that this is the test. That one moment is your chance to choose discipline over comfort. It's your chance to take one more step toward the person you are meant to be. So, what are you going to choose?